All right. All right, Dawn, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Jamie. Hi, good evening, everybody. Good to see you all here this evening. My name is Donna Mayer. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Drexel University. I've been at the university for about 10 years. And just a little FYI, I know my name says Donna Mayer, Drexel University, but I could easily also put in there Donna Mayer, Mother of Dragons, because at Drexel, we are the Drexel Dragons. Mario the Magnificent is our mascot. I am the Mother of Dragons because I have two students who have graduated from Drexel University. My youngest is still there. So I have multiple kids who have gone through Drexel's programs and Drexel's co-op too. So I can give you my perspectives, not just as a staff member, but also as a parent. So I do have a presentation that I'll call up for you. It does go over some information about Drexel in general, but then it certainly does dive into the co-op for sure. So let me just call that up first of all. And Jamie, you can see that clearly, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks so much. So forward in this. And I'm not going to lie, I would coworker asked for some assistance today. They were feeling so well, so I stepped in. So I didn't create the presentation, but I think it covers a lot of great information about Drexel for anyone who's curious about what we're able to offer students. We are, I think, a unique institution in that we offer 80 undergraduate majors combined with, complemented, I would say, by about 120 minors. So Drexel's like grade school for interdisciplinary studies. So if you want to major in something in, say, the College of Engineering, but then minor in something in our College of Media Arts and Design, you most likely will be able to do that. So you can cross colleges at Drexel. Our founder, Anthony Drexel, had a unique upbringing. His father had not found much success in the love that he had for being an artist. So Mr. Drexel Sr. decided that he needed to change his path. And in order to support his family, he then went into the banking world and he actually created their own family bank. They did pretty well, I would say. JP Morgan, for an example, is an offshoot of the Drexel family. So I think the Drexel family found their niche for sure as far as where their strengths lie. So Anthony Drexel, as a young man, about 13, 14 years old, his father brought him and his brother into the banking world with him, and he had them working professionally while they were completing their education. So I think Mr. Drexel was probably one of the first co-op students ever. We've had co-op at Drexel for about 103 years now. The university's been around just over about 126 years, 127 years. So co-op's been a staple of what we're able to offer our students. And I do really appreciate Mr. Drexel's perspective about the world changing and that universities and schools and colleges need to teach their students that they have to change with that. They need to prepare their students for the world that they're going out into. And we certainly strive to do that at Drexel. This is clearly evident in the number of programs that we offer for our students, our majors and minors, but of course, our opportunities for students to really gain experiential hands-on learning through not just the co-op, of course, but also through other programs we offer. So we don't believe that the classroom, the four walls of the classroom define where you can learn. Learning can take place in so many different ways and environments. An example on the screen is our Drexel Fashion Show. This is an event put on by Drexel students every year. It's a professional event. You could see the works, of course, modeled by the professional models. And you might think, well, the fashion design students are probably the students in charge of this event, but that's not actually true. The students in charge of the event are the students that are in our design and merchandising major. Those are the students who will be putting on events like this. Those are the students who will be marketing products and brands and fashion pieces. They will be the ones who will be working collaboratively with the fashion designers to present their products out into the world. And that's what's so valuable about what Drexel can offer students. So for this one event, you have students from the fashion design major, the design and merchandising major, the music industry major, and the culinary students coming in, different strengths, different skill sets, different goals, but coming in and working collaboratively, led by the design and merchandising students to put on this professional event, because we really want them to understand this is what this environment may be. This is what this industry may be like for you. This is what your career may offer you. So for students to know that in their bones, that this is really what they're looking to do, I think is invaluable. We're able to offer our students a very unique curriculum at Drexel. So our faculty, for example, are professionals in their industries, and they bring their real world experiences into the classroom. And then for our students, for their side of this, I think what's great about it is after a student completes one co-op, which is the minimum amount of co-ops you can do. Each co-op at Drexel is 6 months long. You're coming back into the classroom after working professionally in an industry for 6 full months, and you are then bringing your real world experience back into the classroom for those discussions, which I always would love to be a part of, to see what the students are contributing and how maybe they're debating with their faculty about how they saw how different industry or different companies in those industries handled situations, or what their philosophy would have been. At Drexel, we do try to offer a number of programs and opportunities, again, for students to explore different areas of study and different areas of interest that they may have. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, we do have that as a freestanding degree at Drexel. We were actually the first in the country to offer a freestanding degree in entrepreneurship. We offer that as a major, as a minor. But you may be a student who wants to come to Drexel for business, and you do maybe have goals or aspirations of one day being an entrepreneur. Well, our entrepreneurship program, they believe that there are different skill sets that they can teach you. Whether you're a student in that college or not, you could take advantage of the Biota Institute, which is it's an entrepreneurship incubation program. So any student can go to the Biota Institute in the Close School of Entrepreneurship, and they will give you the physical space to work on your business or product. They will walk you through the process of what it would take to launch that business or product into the marketplace, and give you that full understanding of what being an entrepreneur would be like for you. Civic engagement opportunities, leadership opportunities are all available for all Drexel students. Again, a unique aspect of our curriculum is that your major at Drexel does not define who you are to us and what you can be involved in. So you could be a student who is a business major, who is minoring in, say, communications or something in media arts and design, and you're writing for the independent student newspaper, The Triangle, and maybe you're a member of the Formula One race car team, as well as a member of our ski club. So you really can be involved in things that matter to you, either professionally, either based in your major, or just personally for you. Research opportunities are also included in that overall description. All students at Drexel are able to do research. All students at Drexel are eligible to do study abroad programs as well. And if you're a student that's looking into the STEM fields, please keep that in mind. Many schools may have a difficult time offering you study abroad if you're in the STEM field because your programs are so specific, but that's not the case at Drexel. We offer shorter time frame study abroad programs called intensive learning. We offer programs academically based or more culturally focused. We currently have about 140 locations around the world. If we cannot get you to a country that you'd like to go to for a study abroad, though, keep in mind co-op may be the option for you, or research opportunities abroad. They're available as worldwide programs. The research continues for any student interested at Drexel through our Star Scholars program. This is a great opportunity for any first-year student, which I think is wonderful because you don't have to compete against upperclassmen. So it's only for first-year students. You can submit a proposal for any subject matter you'd like to do research on. And again, this is the STAR Scholar, so it stands for Students Tackling Advanced Research. We've had this program at Drexel for over 20 years. Last year, just to give you an idea, our numbers were back where they were. Now that we're all coming back to the classroom in person, about 140 students were in the STAR Scholars program. And it's the chance for a first-year student to really take the reins on a research study. You, the student, submit a proposal, anything you're interested in doing research on. If you are admitted to the program, if they like what you're looking to do that research on, you get to live on campus at no charge. So free housing over your freshman summer. This is the summer after your first year of classes with us. You will be teamed up with a faculty mentor who's an expert in whatever subject matter your topic is based in, and you get paid for the research. So again, you're really that student taking the reins, working for yourself basically over this freshman summer. And when I say you really can do research on any topic, you truly can. Just to give you an example, there was a biology major who did research on the wording of the FAFSA. And the FAFSA, if you're not familiar, it's a document you'll fill out to look for financial aid consideration from state and local government. He did research to see if the FAFSA maybe kind of hypnotize parents a little bit, maybe encourage parents to divorce to get more financial aid, or to attempt to get more financial aid. So again, research through the STAR program can be incredibly fun. It can be kind of silly. It can be incredibly high level and technical. If you have any questions about that, please be sure to put that in the chat. And you can also look at our website for that. It's called Star Scholars. There is a link on that page for Summer Showcase, and you'll be able to see the booklets from the past 10 years of research that students have conducted. It's a really great way to kind of look through to see the caliber of the research students are looking into as Drexel first-year students. Now, our cooperative education program, again, you've heard about this. Anytime you talk to someone about Drexel, you're going to hear about co-op. I think it's because it's such it can be confusing to understand initially, and it can be such an interesting and just kind of common sense approach to a program that complements your education. And the goal of it is to really help you understand, is this what I want to do after I graduate from college? Is this the path for me? And it's so important for you to understand that and know that, I think, as early as possible. So we do try to offer these programs, and all Drexel students actually are able to do co-op except for our architecture majors, but they have a very unique schedule that they follow, and I'll be happy to go over that for anyone that has a question about the architecture timeline. They're the only students on campus that are not eligible to do co-op. Now, we don't just say to you as a student, okay, well, time for you to do a co-op, go find a job, come back in 6 months, let us know how it went. That's not how the program operates. As I said, we've had co-op for about 103 years, so it's a very well-run program. So at Drexel, you're going to have an academic advisor for your major. You're also going to have a specific advisor just for your co-op searches. So as a first-year student, or maybe a student in your second year, depending on the schedule that you're on, you will take a class that's mandatory called Co-op 101. In the Co-op 101 class, they will teach you what co-op is, how it operates, how it functions, what it's all about, basically. They will go over with you what are good foundational skills to have for a job interview. They will talk to you about what's appropriate to wear, what's appropriate to ask in a job interview, what you should not ask in a job interview. They will help you also create a professional resume. Once you complete that class, you will then go meet with your co-op advisor. So that advisor will then open up our database to let you look through all of the companies that we have partnerships with. As I said, this is a global program. We have over 1,500 employers in our database that you would be able to search for jobs with. So again, it's a great chance for you to explore an industry. It's a great chance for you to really see if this is the right career path for you. Keep in mind too, with the co-op, you can certainly use this as a tool to explore many different industries. So the co-ops you select, the co-ops you apply for, don't necessarily have to exactly match with your major. So for example, when my daughter was at Drexel, my oldest, she was considering going to law school. So as a student at Drexel, she was in the psychology major. All three of the co-ops that she did, however, were working in the legal world. So she did one co-op for the DA's office here in Philadelphia, which is a large, diverse political office. She got to see what it was like to prepare cases for prosecution. Her second and third co-ops, she actually was working for a defense attorney who only handled defense cases in the city of Philadelphia. So she got to see what it was like from both sides of the aisle in the criminal justice world in Philadelphia. She got to see what it was like to prepare cases from the defense's perspective and point of view. So these were great experiences for her to have that better understanding if she would want to go to law school or not. So just little update, as of today, she has not applied to law school yet. Actually, she's gone into banking, she's gone into compliance. So I think that the legal world has played some part in her making that decision. But if she does decide to apply to law school, then she certainly will have a year and a half of professional experience on her resume. She will have contacts in the legal world that she could rely on for recommendations, for example, and she will have a great conversation with any admissions office at any law school that she's looking to apply to, because again, she does have those real world experiences for herself. Now, I mentioned the different timelines. Let me explain that to you. So here at Drexel, we have the opportunity for most students to choose how long you want to be a student with us. You can choose to be a 4-year student or a 5-year student. Very few majors at Drexel are only offered as 4-year programs. I'll use music industry as an example for that. So if you're coming into Drexel as a music industry major, you will only do one 6-month co-op. So that's a 4-year program at Drexel. You cannot stay longer than 4 years for that major. Any student that's in a 4-year only curriculum will be in classes for 12 quarters at Drexel. We are a quarter system school, not a semester-based system. So each term at Drexel, we're very clever. We follow the season. Each term is only 10 weeks long. There are breaks in between each term. So just so you're aware of that, you're not in classes continually. You do have breaks built in. And then we also have the traditional holiday breaks for sure. But if you're a 4-year student, you're in classes for 12 quarters, 12 terms. If there are any parents on this information session, you then are only paying for 12 terms of tuition at Drexel. You will do your co-op students in year 3, and you'll either be a fall, winter, or a spring, summer student. The other times, wherever you see those blue boxes, think class, think tuition. parents, wherever you see the yellow boxes, they look kind of greenish to me today. Think no classes, no tuition. So students, for 6 full months, you are literally physically out of the classroom. No homework, no tests, no papers for 6 full months, because we want you focusing on the work experiences. Now, if you're a student whose major allows you to choose the 4-year versus the 5-year, the 5-year students, as you can see, also have 12 dark blue boxes on their schedule. That's highlighting the fact that those students are also in classes for the exact same amount of time, 12 quarters. So 4 and 5-year students, in-state or out-of-state residents, all are in classes for 12 terms, 12 quarters. So you're paying for 12 terms of tuition in the end. However, I will say for those 5-year students and those families, I think the planning for the timeline is, and as far as the financial aid, what you're going to do then is, you can see, you have in year 2, year 3, year 4, you have a combination of the green boxes and the blue boxes. So that's indicating the students are on co-op for 2 terms, and then they're in classes for 2 terms. So you're only paying for those individual terms. So you're not paying the same amount in that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year as you will in that 1st year and that final year, because they're only in classes for 2 terms. So that really can help as far as the financial aid side of it. So again, those 5-year students will do 1 co-op in their 2nd year, 1 co-op in their 3rd year, and 1 co-op in their 4th year. Each co-op being 6 months long, those students will have a year and a half, 18 months of professional work experience under their belt by the time they graduate. Also so invaluable too, the students that are in the 5-year timeline, they have a little bit more of a chance, I'd say, to explore industries, of course, but also to realize, if they are in a major that they realize through their co-op or just through their studies, they're realizing this is not the path for me, they can then change their major or change the direction where they're going to go using the next 2 co-ops they have. So an example of that is one of my alumni ambassadors, his daughter came to Drexel as a chemistry major. And as you can imagine, her first co-op as a sophomore, she was working in a chemistry lab for a company. That was her first co-op, but she realized she did not enjoy it. She called him up crying 2 weeks into the co-op, said, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. This is not what I thought it was going to be. He was able to calm her down. He said, it's fine. It's okay. He said, look, all I want you to do is graduate on time. That's all I ask you to do. So when you finish this co-op, you have to finish it. You have to honor your agreement with them. Go back to school, talk to your academic advisor about a new major, and then you can do 2 more co-ops in whatever major that is. And she was able to then change her major and move into the School of Business at Drexel, moving from the College of Arts and Sciences into the business school, and do a co-op in the business world in the next year, and as well as one in her 4th year. So, and that's where she has maintained her career. Actually, she graduated and is now working in that industry. So she was able to really realize for herself, this is not what I thought it was. This is not the path for me. So I think that's just such an invaluable part of what the co-op is going to be able to offer students. You, the student, you're going to understand the options for your career. You're going to understand the types of companies you'd like to work for. The co-op, I think, provides you the opportunity to come out with a better understanding and a confidence about your chosen field. And just so I can, I don't know that I touched on this at all yet, but at Drexel, about 94% of our students do participate in the co-op program. 85% of the positions are full-time and paid positions, and the average salary is about $19,000 for each co-op that you do. But again, this is to highlight for you, the student, what that industry will be offering you. So I can say, let you know that for our engineering students, for example, their average co-op salary is about $20,000 for each co-op that they do. So for 6 months of work, you're gaining that practical work experience, that salary, taking that breaks in the classroom, just focusing on these work experiences. If you find a co-op that's close to home, if you want to go back to California for a co-op, you're able to do that as well. You don't have to stay in the Philadelphia area because, again, you're not taking classes. So it gives you the freedom really to move around the world and experience different cultures, different communities, go back home if that's something you're looking to do. I think that's, again, another plus benefit for the program. Now, as you can see with our Drexel students, we're so happy to see that the number of students that are working full-time and that they're satisfied with their position. I know that as a mom, you know, that 93% of them are in that position. We're also happy to share that students coming from Drexel going into graduate programs are finding success in those areas, and that those working professionally, they are working in a field that is closely related to what they studied at Drexel. So I think that the combination of the students being in the classroom, learning that theory, learning those basics, and then with those real world experiences, the practicality of that experience really is ensuring that they understand where they're going after they graduate. And again, keep in mind too, they're not then looking for entry-level work experiences. They are looking for something above and beyond that. This is my contact information, but you know what I can do too is I can stop sharing and just put that in the chat as well. If that's okay. I don't know if anybody will see it, but Jamie can share that with you folks at a later point in time too. And just to throw this out there too, when my son, after he graduated from Drexel, he actually was, he had his first professional job lined up after he did. He also chose the 5-year option, so he did 3 co-ops. He was looking to get a used car, his first car on his own. And when he applied for the loan, the bank said, no, thank you. You don't have enough work experience. And he said, no, but I do. I have a 1.5 years of work experience. And he sent his resume over to them, and they were then gave him the car loan because he now had enough work experience to get the car in his own name, to which his father and I were very, very happy about. So success there as well.
Thank you, Donna. And there's a question in the chat
Sure.
asking, how does housing work during the co-op period?
Sure. So I did touch on them a little bit. However, in general, if you are doing a co-op that's in the Philadelphia area, and again, this depends on where you are in the timeline, we do have a 2-year residency requirement at Drexel. So if you're a 4-year student doing the one co-op, then you would be a junior when you're doing that co-op. So you can live anywhere that you want. You can live in Drexel upperclassmen housing if you like. You can live in affiliated housing, which we have throughout campus. Those are more private apartments. That's a lease you sign with that vendor. But what I always caution students, if you're living in the affiliated options and you're looking to do co-ops away from the city, keep that in mind and make sure you get a co-op lease from that vendor, because again, that's not Drexel Housing, that's that private company that we have vetted. Or if you're doing a co-op that is in South America or anywhere else in the world, you would find that housing for yourself and you would be paying for that housing too. If you're a student that's on the 5-year option, as a 2nd-year student, you can still live in Drexel housing. You can live in Greek housing, Greek life housing, actually upperclassmen too can too as well, or those affiliated options.
Thank
If
you.
that doesn't answer your question, just let me know. Happy to elaborate more if necessary.
Okay, it doesn't look like there are other questions. I don't know if everyone has access to the chat on their device.
Sure.
But yeah, that was a lot of great information. And I learned so much about Drexel. So this is so great. I didn't know that students could graduate with a 1.5 years worth of work experience. That's incredible. Yeah, I feel like that is so atypical.
I know. And I think just for the student themselves, because we can tell them this is what this experience will be like, this is what this industry can offer you. But I think for you, the student, to see that for yourself, feel that in your bones if it's right for you or not. If Kim, if you have a question.
There's a question. Yes.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so another question about the co-op program. Does Drexel have like relationships with different companies where they, like connect the students with those companies, or does the student have to just go out like they're on the job or internship market and find things?
So no, so the whole point of the co-op is that we help the students. We have a structured program in place. They have to take a class that teaches them what that is. And then after they complete that class, they then go work, meet with their co-op advisor who lets them get access to our database that has about 1,500 employers worldwide that students can apply for jobs with. However, I will say that you bring up a good point, Kim. Sorry, good point, Kim. The students, if they want to find a job outside of our database, they're welcome to do so. They might know of a company they'd like to work for that we don't currently have a relationship with, and their co-ops advisor will certainly help them with that. We also have Handshake as a resource for our students to take advantage of as well, so something outside of our database. Does that answer your question, Kim?
I think so. What is Handshake? Did I miss that?
It's a job search platform.
Oh, okay.
And if I may, I'm happy to read off. I have an example, just some of the co-op employers, just to give you an idea. I'll go through and just kind of, Amazon, Amtrak, Apple, Crayola. Who doesn't work with Crayola Crayon Factory, right? Langen Engineering and Environmental Sciences, Leonardo Helicopters, Lockheed Martin, NASA. May have heard of NASA. Pannoni Associates, that's an engineering and architectural firm in the Philadelphia area. Pfizer, U.S. Air Force, the Army Corps of Engineers, who else? Dow Chemicals, AstraZeneca. So we do have a range of companies that students can apply for jobs through throughout their time at Drexel.
Great, thank you.
And Donna, there's a couple other questions.
Great.
What is the general GPA requirement to get into computer science?
I don't know that specifically. We have 80 majors, so I don't have all the information memorized for each one. I would say we do review students holistically. So the information's on our website. You can look at our first year class profile. The information that you'll most likely see, the average GPA for a first year student across the university is about a 3.7. For computer science, I will let you know that we have seen such tremendous interest in the College of Computing and Informatics the past 3 years. So I would say the higher math that you can take would be beneficial for you as well. We look for you to have calculus and then 2 years of sciences, I think most notably chemistry and physics for sure, as part of the prerequisites. If you Google Drexel prerequisites, you can see what each college is looking for, and there are differentiators in there. So computer science and software engineering, same level of prerequisites. The other majors in computer science, you might be able to have pre-calculus, for example, as the highest level math that you took.
Thank you. And then how easy is it to switch between engineering majors?
Oh, sure. Actually, this is a great point to bring up because we do have about 13 different engineering majors at Drexel. Keep in mind, we also have a separate college of biomedical engineering, if that's interesting to you. So it'll depend on where you are when you want to make the change. If you're within the College of Engineering, it might not be so challenging, at least the first 2 years. After that, it might be a little more difficult because you will get into more specific courses for that concentration. So I would just say, as soon as you think you want to change anything, talk to your academic advisor and let them give you the guidance that, okay, so at this point is when you would need to make a decision. But we do offer, and this is across the university, we are offering more and more undeclared, undecided options for students. College of Engineering is one of those. So if you're not sure which area of engineering you want to study, but you know you want engineering, apply undecided engineering. And then that way you're going to have the same classes the first 2 years as all the other engineering students. So that I think that would give you a good amount of time. And maybe you'll even be able to do a co-op if you're on the 5-year timeline. That will give you that experience and that, the time in the classroom to really figure out where you think you'd like to go in engineering. If you're a student who's interested in STEM, and you don't know where you want to go in STEM, maybe you don't know if you want computer science as a major or biomed or biology. We have different application processes for you to take advantage of. They're called the first year exploratory studies major. And you can choose that as a first choice major on the application if you like. The beautiful thing about that program is, one, it allows the student to know that they can come into Drexel. If you're in the STEM track, for example, and there are 3 tracks to that program, there's a STEM track, a non-STEM track, and a create your own major custom design. But I'll use the STEM track as an example. If you're in that program, if you're in that track, you're going to have the math and sciences you need to move in the most STEM majors at Drexel. So again, you won't miss out on anything that you need to move forward. And when you decide, maybe even 6 months in at Drexel as a first year student in that track, you know what? I know I want to go into biomedical engineering. As long as your advisor and the biomedical engineering department agree that you're ready to come in, you can go into the program at that point in time. So it's really very relevant to, based on the students, ready ability, preparedness to go into that program. So I love the fact that the student really gets to help, be a part of that determination.
All right, thank you. And it looks like that's it for our questions, but thank you so much, Donna, for being here and speaking to our families at MVLA.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Jamie has my contact information. Happy to assist you and answer any questions that I can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Donna. Well, you are welcome to enjoy the rest of your evening. I have to keep this this link live for a while.
All right. Well, you go and enjoy the rest of your night. I don't know how many more sessions do you have?
There's 2 more and then we'll be done. Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you letting us coming into your classroom, into your students' lives this way. And again, any questions, you reach out to me or Josh directly. Happy to help. Okay?
Well, thank you. And it sounds like they're really interested. So
Good,
that's
good.
really exciting. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay. Hope I was clear enough. I thought I stumbled a little bit here and there, but
oh, that was
okay.
great information. I'm really going to be promoting your school.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Have a great night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.